Gangster Park workout. Welcome to the first Gangster Park workout with a voiceover. Let's start straight in. My little friend here is gonna show us how to warm up, grab the little ball and throw it a few times. Then move over straight to some lunges. I've started pretty fast here already, as I've been warm. If you want to, you can start slower and build up. The idea is to become a little bit more explosive, so you accelerate fast and then try to stick the motion for a second. Then you grab the ball again and slam it down. The idea to keep the upper body neutral while swinging the ball overhead, which gives you a little pre-stretch in your abs and your hips, and then you slam it down. Be aware that you keep your lower back straight during all of this. Then you repeat for a second round. Then you should be warm and we go straight into the exercise. So the first move is the lunge jumps. The idea is you go into a position, swing your arms back, jump, then land, hold for 3 seconds. Stick, swing up, hold, swing, 1, 2, 3, and stop. Yes, then you change the leg. Or you go into the position, hold, swing back, up, and stick. It's important to come to 0 speed, swing up, and then down. Hold there, don't go too fast, up. Now in the background we got some nice company, some hula hoop girls and boys. Just in case you're interested. We did both legs and then we go back to the slamming. I need a little bit of a rest, so should you have. Like already on this first set my legs were burning quite a lot. This is happening because of the holding time. Then you keep the legs under tension, so lactic acid and hydrogen are building up pretty fast. So during the slams, be aware, you throw the ball down and try to keep your lower back neutral. We have the tendency to go into a rounded position with the lower back, which is not very useful. Also truly move from your hips and keep your upper body rigid. That means you tighten up your abs, you tighten up your low back, and that will help you to move much more efficiently from your hips. There's a great saying, all the great athletes move from the hips, and so should you. So this combination is a very useful one because you are learning to independently move hips and torso, which will, if you're a dancer, let's say, a classical dancer, and you want to do a grand jeté, will be very useful because you need to keep your torso rigid and at the same time move your legs from the hips, which will give you a very defined look and will make you very stable in the air. Also for the takeoff it's important, so you have carryover of the forces that you're creating from your hips through the torso and not into the spine. And that way you won't get hurt, but you will jump higher. Second round, bam, starting again. Jump up, land, stick, jump up, land, whoops, 2, 3, and the other side. It's also important to really challenge yourself. So you just saw I've been stumbling a little bit, no problem. Actually, if you go too safe and too careful, you will not challenge your stability. So really try to jump as high as you can. Wham, pow, stick, hold, and then whoop, up. Yes, swing the arms back, up, boom, stick and land. Chuck, yes. I got a little bit of a burn there already. You heard me. The purpose of this exercise, like starting from zero, is to build up raw strength. Being able to start from zero and then going up to a high speed, which will bring you up into the air. Bam, next round of slamming. I've got a 10 kilogram ball, medicine ball, a slam ball. You may want to start with a slightly lighter one, depending on your strength. It will have different effects, so if you go lighter, you will be able to move a bit faster. If it's heavier, you will move slower. If you can handle it, your joints as well. All options are fine. I'm trying to become really strong in my abdominals and in the hips. I'm building reactive strength and at the same time training the ability to resist forces. So the moment where the ball comes overhead and moves slightly backwards, you have to tighten up your abs, which is a situation that you will find in dance as well. So imagine you're jumping up into a grand jeté. At that moment, technically your upper body is accelerating forward and you need to resist those forces, otherwise you will fall into a big arch, and that's obviously what you want to avoid. And this way of training will help you to do that. Nice side effect is you'll get some nice abs. Next round, pop. Swing their arms back and up. Good. Swing their arms back. Hop. Shop. This way you'll train the timing, so the arm swing will add to your height. You can go also into the direction of, let's say, fixing your arms straight in your hips. So if you want to minimize the effect of the arm swing, you hold your hands on your sides. That way you will jump less high, but you will need more force to get up. Chop the other side. Again, swing their arms back, jump up, and land. Hold, bam. If you notice during your takeoffs, either in dance or in this exercise, that your knees are buckling inside, this is a great way to start because you're coming from zero speed, so the danger of injuring yourself is much lower. Well, building up strength there is a great way to improve your dancing technique. Now, if it's impossible for you to do that, you might want to look into squatting and doing slower lunges first, and then step by step getting to the jumping versions. I will make another video where I'll explain the steps how to get there as well. Yeah, I've just been hanging out, getting my rest. Typically, if this exercise is pretty intense, you can have rest times up to 3 to 5 minutes. I went a little bit faster. But if you start with this exercise and you're truly interested in building strength, keep the rest periods long so you fully recover, and then with full recovery restart the next round. In terms of the muscles that we're training, or we'll get everything around our thighs, so hamstrings, quads, the calves are working, the adductors as well. We'll have different versions of lunges coming up, where we have more lateral stability or frontal stability, frontal plane stability. Our abdominal and back muscles will function as stabilizers. We want to get great alignment of shoulders and hips. That's always useful, not only for jumping, but also for turning, let's say. If you want to do fortes, pirouette turns, having great alignment of your shoulders and your hips will help you to turn very efficient. So you will not lose a lot of energy, and at the same time you will be pretty stable. Goodie, you come into the next round. Same setup. Start from 0, hold, swing and jump, pop, hold, jump. Very nice. Ha. Jawohl. Good. Moving over to the other leg. You also get a free stability challenge if you do this outside in a park like I did. It's sort of an uneven floor, which makes it a bit more tricky. So you get free free variation. I would not suggest to do this on a wobble board or other stuff like that. Floor should be pretty solid. And so we want to maximize the force output to jump high, and not do a rehab training where we need a bit of ankle movements and stuff like that. Or if you're in the dance studio, the floor is even most of the time, or it is a raked stage, but you will not find a floor that looks like this park. So small variation is fine. If it's too foamy, too soft and so on, and it is too different from your daily environment, you will lose the carryover. Coming to the next break. Beautiful. Getting some nice music in the background. Not sure if you're hearing it from the park gangsters. Having some loose hips is always welcome. That said, some of you may feel the urge or the need to stretch during these exercises. I would suggest not to stretch your hamstrings during this. There is some evidence that stretching your hip flexors does help in jumping, which is technically the only muscle group, let's say, to stretch before any dynamic effort. The thought behind that is potentially that if your hip flexors are tight and you don't have complete hip extension, you will inhibit the hip extensors, so your glutes, to create their full drive. So that way, if you open up the hip flexors slightly prior to these exercises, you may get some benefit. At the same time, if you use your abdominal muscles correctly during the exercises, you will set up your hips in a way that you get a pre-stretch in the lunge. So that way you technically have the pre-stretch already included. You just have to be aware that your abs are not relaxed and you're standing in a big arch. The intensity of these little bouts is going up quite fast. Also, I've been accumulating fatigue and really felt that. Tried to get rid of the burn in the thigh and get some breath. So coming to the 5th round now. Set up one more time. Bam! Explosive swing. Stick and hold. 1, 2, 3. Ha, cha. 1, 2, 3. Ha. 1, 2, 3. Done. Shaking out. And another leg. That's what one ballet teacher used to say in classes that I've visited. See how many legs we have. Change leg. Next round. Final round. Set up. Jawohl. Burned a lot. Okay, finishing off. Getting the ball one more time. And here we go. Going down actively, you will also really train active hip flexion, which is a useful thing for jumping and other things you're doing. Thank you very much. Already through. Gangster Park.